Good morning, scholars. Welcome to our brand new week. Let's get started right away and start growing our brains. Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 8. For today, you will need your personal whiteboards and your brain. We are going to work on the commutative property of multiplication. We're going to practice skip counting facts in an array model. We will explain those related multiplication facts by skip counting and using arrays. Let's get started. Let's count by 2s to 20. Whisper, then speak the numbers. Use the skip count sequence to help you. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Now, let's count by 2s to 20 again. This time, hum the first number and then speak. As you hum, think the number. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Let's count by 2s to 20. This time, instead of humming, think every other number. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. What number did we just count by? 4s. We counted by 4s. Let's count by 4s one more time. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now, let's count by 3s forward and backward to 30. This one will warm up with our fingers because we've had some extra practice with it. Ready? Let's go. Count by 3s to 30 and go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Bring it down. 30, 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, 0. Great job. You will now need your personal whiteboards. How many groups of 2 do you see? We see 3 groups of 2. Let's write 2 different multiplication sentences for this picture. 3 times 2 equals 6, and 2 times 3 equals 6. Notice how the factors switch, but the total remains the same. Let's try another one. Reset your board. How many groups of 5 do you see? We see 3 groups of 5. Let's write 2 different multiplication sentences for this picture. You can write 3 times 5 equals 15, or 5 times 3 equals 15. It's like saying 3 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 3. And both of them have a total of 15. How many groups of 3 do you see? We see 4 groups of 3. Let's write 2 different multiplication sentences for this picture. You could write 4 times 3 equals 12, or 3 times 4 equals 12. The factors switch, but the total remains the same. Now let's keep going with this idea of cumulative multiplying. 4 times 2 equals 2 times unknown. On your boards, write the number sentence above and fill in the blank. 4 times 2 equals 2 times 4. The factors switch, but the total remains the same. Let's do it again. 9 times 5 equals 5 times unknown. On your boards, write the number sentence above and fill in the blanks. 9 times 5 equals 5 times 9. I think we're getting a pattern here. 3 times 6 equals 6 times unknown. On your boards, write the number sentence above and fill in the blank. There we go. 3 times 6 equals 6 times 3. Let's reset. And now we'll work on this application problem together. Children sit in 2 rows of 9 on the carpet for math time. Aaron says we make equal groups. Vish says we make 9 equal groups. Who is correct? Explain how you know using models, numbers, and words. Now let's do this together. We read the problem. Now what do we know? We know that children sit in 2 rows of 9. We know Aaron said that we make 2 equal groups. We know that Viddish said that we make 9 equal groups. The question is, who is correct? Aaron or Viddish? Aaron says 2 rows of 9 makes 2 equal groups. Viddish says 2 rows of 9 makes 9 equal groups. Let's look more closely at this. Here we see 2 rows of 9, and here we see 9 rows of 2. Who is correct? I think now I see a little bit closer where they're both thinking this. Viddish sees 9 groups of 2, and Aaron sees 2 groups of 9. They're both looking at the rows. So let's write what we drew. 9 groups of 2 and 2 groups of 9 in a number sentence. 9 times 2 equals 2 times 9. They are both correct because 9 times 2 equals 2 times 9. It just depends on how you are looking at the array. If you turn Aaron's array, it looks like Viddish's array. They are the same array. Let's turn our personal whiteboard so that they are vertical. Remember, a vertical one looks just like an upward page. Let's skip count by 3 4 times and write each number. 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's draw an array to match our account. How many rows and columns does your array need to show? And why? It's going to show 4 groups of 3. So I'm going to start with 4 rows and put 3 in each. There are 4 rows and 3 columns because there are 4 groups of 3 in the count. Don't erase. Just turn your board so it's horizontal now. How many rows and columns does it show? It now shows 3 rows and 4 columns. What is the difference between the vertical and horizontal arrays? In the first array, the 4 3s were rows, and in the second array, they were columns. Remember, rows go across and columns go up and down. Did the total number of dots change? No. The total and the factors stay the same. The factors just switched places. Yesterday, or Friday, we learned a special word for that. It's called the commutative property, the commutative property of multiplication. We're going to use the commutative property to write 2 multiplication sentences for this array. We could first start with 3 times 4, since we see 3 rows of 4. But we know based off the commutative property that we can flip those factors and the total would remain the same. So we can also write 4 times 3 equals 12, and 3 times 4 equals 12. When we first drew this array, we skip counted by 3s 4 times. If we look at the array horizontally, how should we skip count it? We can skip count it by 4s because there are 4 in each row. 4, 8, 12. Next, let's draw an array that shows 5 rows of 3. Write a multiplication sentence to match your array, but don't solve it yet. 5 times 3. I'm going to change the problem slightly. Listen carefully and rotate your array to match what I say. 3 rows and 5 columns. Now, you see my picture. Write a multiplication sentence for the new array. Don't solve it yet. 3 times 5. Explain the difference between 5 times 3 and 3 times 5. When we turn the array, columns become rows, and rows become columns. We call that the commutative property. Now let's solve each of our multiplication sentences by skip counting and writing each number as you say it. Let's start with 3 times 5. 5, 10, 15. 3 groups of 5. Let's do 5 times 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 groups of 3. Let's try another. Work with your partner or somebody at home and draw an array with 7 rows of 2. Write 2 multiplication sentences to solve your array. Do not solve it yet. You could write 7 times 2 or 2 times 7. Let's skip count in both ways to solve. 7 times 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 7 groups of 2. Let's do 2 times 7. 7, 14. 2 groups of 7. Last one. Draw an array with 9 rows of 3 columns. Let's write 2 multiplication sentences to match your array. Don't solve it yet. 9 times 3 and 3 times 9. Let's skip count to solve. Let's start with 9 times 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. 9 times 3 is 27. Let's try 3 times 9. 9, 18, 27. There we go. 3 groups of 9 and 9 groups of 3. Are these statements equal? Use your array to discuss how you know. They were equal. Now, we're going to work on our problem set in Google Slides. When you are done working on it after 15 minutes, make sure to click Turn In. Do not turn in blank work. It will only be returned to you. Next, you will go on Edulastic and submit your exit ticket. Remember, it's really important to submit your exit ticket every single day, because if you're learning away from our live class, that's how I count your attendance, and if you are in my live class, this might be a part of your grade. All right, everyone, what a great math day. See you tomorrow. Bye.